Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Shirk, and welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And joining me today is my co-host, Jonathan Silva. Hey, Jonathan, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day today.
Oh, maybe you. We're in Jacksonville, Florida. We got a hurricane coming.
Better get ready.
Speaking of hurricanes, from one of my favorite cities in the world, Windy City, Chicago, we have Chris Bogue joining us from Chris Bogue Communications. Thanks for joining us today, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, Chris, tell us what you do at Chris Bogue Communications and how you serve your customers.
I help people make mercifully short videos that drive revenue for their business. So sometimes that's salespeople. I train salespeople to make super short, direct videos instead of making cold calls. And I also help marketers and entrepreneurs and executives make short video content for LinkedIn and TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah, so Chris, I deal with video every day as well. We have a video team here, and so something that I'm always that I love that you said, and something that I'm always trying to get our clients on board is reminding them, like, hey, I know you have all this information and all this content you want to talk about, but our attention spans are way too short to talk about all of that. So what are you solving for your customers, and how are you teaching them how to move forward with video?
Well, there's not a lot of literature written about this, right? If anybody's ever gone to business school, they don't teach you to make short videos, and they certainly don't teach you how to make TikToks. And that's a problem because executives need to know how to do those things. So my thing is everybody overthinks it. And I have a little bit of an advantage here. I've done some television work. I wrote and directed and performed in comedy shows at Chicago's Second City for a long time. So I'm used to writing a lot. I'm used to directing people how to feel comfortable as they're performing. And basically everyone overthinks it. You know, they think they have to go say the most brilliant thing ever, and it's 5 minutes long, and it's, you know, it's too much. Where really, if you just say one important thing and it's 30 seconds long, you know, that's a message your audience can consume 100% of, and then carry on to whatever the next thing on their phone is. You know, we're all competing for one screen, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, as you say, sometimes you can't get stuck in all the things. Sometimes, as you say, you just got to feed the beast, right? You can't just wait for the perfect idea or the perfect video. You just need to keep pumping it out.
Yes, and I think that business people should start thinking more like on-camera personalities. That's what we are. I say to them, I don't care that you don't have a hair and makeup team. You know, you're a character on the screen. Again, you think one screen, you're competing for that screen as a marketer or as a salesperson. And not only are you competing with every other company on earth, you're competing with Disney Plus and HBO and Hulu and Netflix. You're competing with that person's family. Right? Literally, their kids are like reaching out to them being like, we need to get picked up. You're competing against that, you know? So it's like, maybe you just think of yourself as a salesperson, but 20 seconds from now, they're going to be watching Netflix. So I suggest thinking of yourself as a character. And I always tell my clients, you're not the most important character in the audience's day. That's them. But you can be the most delightful minor character in their
I love that.
Yeah.
So Chris, let me ask you this. Jonathan, let me jump in here and ask a quick question. So right now, you mentioned TikTok, Chris, and to compete with TikTok, YouTube is now doing YouTube Shorts, right? So say you're a realtor, okay? And you want to start working those algorithms on the YouTube Shorts. So real estate market, right? You've got so much content about changing market and changing interest rates, right? Maybe you have houses that are up for sale. So how would you coach that person in terms of that 30-second to 1-minute content on what should they focus on? And do you break that down like, okay, in the first 15 seconds, you need to talk about this. Next 15 seconds this, and then, hey, you got to close. So here's your close. Like when you say you talk them through how to do those types of videos, what's the formula that you're teaching them? Because consistency, as we all know, content is king, consistency is queen. And so if they don't have a thing where they kind of know how to churn these out on a regular basis, just like you said, they're going to overthink it, they're going to get stuck in it, and then they're going to get paralyzed by perfection versus just getting some content out there. So walk us through and use a realtor for an example, if you don't mind.
Right. So I would say the two things anybody can talk about is like, this is who we are, and this is how we solve problems. And the algorithm wants content every day. And that seems like a lot until you realize you can film a bunch of videos in one setting. Like I'll literally film 25 TikToks in an hour, and then you're just putting one out a day. So I always say you start with the things that your prospects are already asking you about.
Okay.
You could make a video. If I was a realtor, I'd say the easiest type of video you could do is you could say, here's the top 5 questions people ask me when they're buying a house. This is my 5-part series. Here's number 1. And you just put that out there and you go, okay, stay tuned. Part 2 is dropping next week. And you can literally sit down in 5 minutes, film all of that on one piece of tape, chop it up, and now you're releasing it. And if you're releasing it at the same time every day, the content is consistently on message. You're not wildly deviating from your form. That's how you can, pick up a following. And, there are already people who are posting about this. There are already people out there on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube posting about real estate. I start with them. Where are these conversations already happening? Can you show up there and take inventory about what people care about what they're asking about? And then I was always taught at the Second City, you write from abundance, not scarcity. If you're sitting down in front of a blank page, trying to come up with the most brilliant thing ever, you're going to fail. But if you've got a list of 30 different things you can talk about, and you just deliver them one to one, back to back to back, maybe they're not all going to be the greatest video ever. But, if 1 or 2 of them takes off and overperforms, and that leads to 1 or 2 extra clients, it's totally worth it. And that was 1 hour of footage. 1 hour of footage. You just got to learn.
We got 15 seconds. I want to wrap you up, but I want to know what your best tip is, because you've got a comedy background, you got a TV background. I could pick that up when you said film, because nobody shoots on film anymore. So that's a dead giveaway that you and I are old TV people. 15-second, what's your best takeaway tip?
Don't look at the screen, look at the lens. If you're filming video content, don't look at your own appearance. You're going to get this nervous eye movement that makes you look uncomfortable. Look straight at the lens the entire time. You will get perfect eye contact and delivery.
I love it. Oh, Chris Bogue, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Come on, anytime. You've got such great feedback. We enjoyed you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure.
Thanks,
Jonathan,
Chris.
Thank you so much for riding with me today.
Of course, this is so fun, Chris. Thank you so much. You have the perfect personality for what you do. I feel like I've only known you for a second, but wow, you got it.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all it takes. He's short. That's all you need. It's quick time. 1 second, get to know him, and you're good to go. Point proven.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you'd like to learn more about what Chris is doing at Chris Bogue Communications, you can check him out by going to dailyadbrief.com. I'm your co-host, Charlene Short, from your Jacksonville studio. Thanks so much for joining us today in Digital Champions, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.